Okay, so this video is a restoration project of mine that I'm going to be cleaning a potjie pot, a traditional South African cooking pot. This particular one is a Falkirk model. Don't think you can get these anymore, I don't think they're making them. Originally from the foundries in Falkirk in Scotland, the casting sent over to South Africa and used for many years to make these potjie pots. So I think you can still buy replicas, Best Duty, some other makes as well. They all do very much the same thing. I'm attempting to use some white vinegar. It's been recommended that I try. I'm just using some star drops, sprayed it on, left it for 15-20 minutes, and just giving it a bit of a clean with a metal scouring pad. And that's really not doing anything. Yep, not budging at all. A bit of a wire brush. Seems to be a bit better. Not going too hard with this, just a light brush. I don't want to cause any damage to the cast iron underneath that. I certainly don't want to scratch it or score it. So just nice and lightly, and you can see there is a little bit of brown rust coming off there, a bit of oxidised rust. You will get that with cast iron. This is obviously maybe 20 years of rust build-up on there. So the lid actually came out quite well with the vinegar, so maybe it's just a case of it stayed on there a bit better because of the shape. But it certainly seemed to do a bit better than the pan. So quite a lot of scrubbing later, probably 3 or 4 hours. You can see, oh, lovely. Yes, that's definitely not ready to eat out of just yet. Quite a bit of rust washed out of that then. So just with some normal dish soap, I'm just using fairy liquid. Just give it a clean out, get rid of some of the dust particles out of there. At this point, my wife recommended something we've got in the cupboard called Pink Stuff. I think it's another product made by Star Drops. I'm quite impressed with this actually. It sprayed a little bit on one of the legs. Applied a bit, should I say. It's not a spray, it's a little tub of like a paste. Didn't do any damage, but it did pull off quite a bit of rust, so I've decided to use it on the full pot. And yeah, really impressive. I'd definitely use this stuff again. Not sure if it's really suitable for cookware. I would certainly recommend you read the labels before you use it if you're going to be attempting anything like this. Well, I'm not too concerned at this stage because this is just the first attempt of cleaning that rust away. We'll definitely be getting 3 or 4 more cleans with some more friendly products. Just your normal dish soaps. So again, just scrubbing it with a scouring pad and a bit of a wire brush. And you can see that browny colour's coming off there. It's getting better. There's still quite a way to go on this. And just filling it up with clean hot water. This project took me about 2 days all in, so it's not one for the faint-hearted to get the process from start to finish. But I suppose this pot was in particularly bad state. So you can see there, a lot better than the first time, and you can see a little bit of the bluey black cast iron colour that you'd expect. So I've actually gone and purchased some Jocker Woods vinegar, white vinegar. This is 5 litres. I've just bought this from Amazon. It had some good reviews. Done a 50-50 split with 50% water, 50% vinegar. Left it in there for 3 hours this time. Pulled it out, dried it off in the oven, and this is what you can see. Yeah, it's not too bad. Coming up quite well. A bit of a wire brush. I've actually been demoted to the garage now as well because this is making quite a mess of the kitchen. One thing I would recommend is wearing gloves and wearing something that you don't mind getting dirty, because that reddy brown rust goes everywhere and it's not particularly easy to get off. So yeah, it might cause some stains to your clothes. But yeah, just giving it a clean off with a bit of scouring pad, wire brush. No products at this point. Getting down to a bit of the cast iron colour there, and most of that rust coming away nicely. So I've moved on to some wire wool. Just normal wire wool you can pick up from any plumber's merchants, handy shop, DIY shop. ironmonger, something like that. And getting rid of some of that finer dust. And this stuff's worked quite well. Looking good. So again, just a bit of a clean out with some fairy liquid. Wash it out, get rid of some of that dust there just with a normal sponge this time. Most of the heavy rust has gone, and we've definitely got a cast iron colour. No more rust. Now, one thing I would say with cast iron is it will rust. So I'm going to be seasoning this using some oil, just to try and give it a bit more protection. So I've opted for using flax seed oil. I'm sure you can use any type of cooking oil, but this stuff's got quite good reviews, especially with cast iron cooking pots. So I've decided to apply this with a brush. You can put this on with paper towel, kitchen towel, whatever you like to use. I just found that using a paintbrush got it coated nicely, nice and even. Applying it liberally into every sort of nook and cranny that you can find. Don't go too sparingly on this stuff. You will find that I'll be wiping any excess off. So you want a fine layer covering the pot. But that can be achieved by using some paper towel just to give it a bit of a wipe down so it's not excessive on there. This pot actually came from South Africa around about the 1990s. It's lived in my dad's garage ever since, where we found it last week. He brought it over as his hand luggage on the plane, so you probably got some funny looks from that, and it's quite a heavy pot as well, so yeah, I can't imagine having to check that in these days in hand luggage. So just giving it a good coating on the lid, on the handle, and when it comes to the handle for the pot, not really easy to get with a brush, so I've just put some of the oil on my hand and brushed it on with my hand there. Get some kitchen towel, kitchen roll, paper towel, give it a wipe off. Like I say, you only want a thin film of oil on here, so get rid of any excess. Give it a good clean out. I've done this 3 times, so covering it in oil, baking it in the oven, let it cool down, bring it back out, cover it in oil, bake it in the oven, let it cool down and repeat. I don't think you need to do any more than that. Tipping it upside down so any of the excess oil can run out, put it into the oven, 200 degrees Celsius, leave it for an hour and a half. This is attempt number 1. Looking good. You probably could leave it there, but I just wanted to give it a couple more attempts. There's number 2, and finally number 3. Probably don't need to do any more than that. I'm quite pleased with the results on attempt number 3. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked it, please click like. Thank you.